No more boring, predictable piano recitals in your studio. We are going to jazz things up with a themed recital. Hey, if we haven't met yet, I'm Phoenix and I'm the Tattooed Piano Teacher. Now, whether you're a new teacher or a seasoned teacher, you do recitals all the time, or you've never thrown a recital, I hope that this video will inspire you to try a themed recital if you've never done one, or give you your next idea for a theme, or level up your themed recital so it will be something that parents are talking about for years to come. Why would you bother to host a themed recital? I feel like we don't give recitals enough credit. Remember that from a parent's point of view, unless they're sitting in on the weekly lessons, this is the face of the service that you are providing. They are spending a lot of money on these lessons, and without an amazing recital, they don't really see where that money is going besides hearing their student practice at home. So I feel like recitals are important. They are worth your planning, time, energy, and a little bit of investment as well. So why a themed recital? First of all, it increases student engagement and enthusiasm for the recitals. My students await the announcement of this year's theme for weeks to come, and I keep them guessing until the beginning of February. A theme allows students to have a little bit more ownership in picking their repertoire and other aspects of the recital, which we will talk about in this video. Once the theme is announced, it creates more anticipation for the recital. As the student is planning what they're going to do and where and be, they're thinking about what other students are going to do and where and be. And then it elevates the experience for the family and friends that attend. For both you and your students, it also reduces decision fatigue. It spices things up a little bit rather than doing the same routine with the same songs every year. A lot of times, depending on what the theme is, it can get students thinking about repertoire outside of their normal scope of things, outside of the method books that they're used to learning songs out of, and can expand their horizons. And lastly, I feel like it doesn't really add a lot to your plate as a teacher to add a theme to a recital. And I feel like the benefits far outweigh any extra investment of time and money that you put into this. So if I have hopefully convinced you that doing a themed recital is worth the effort, then let me give you some theme ideas that I have done in the past around the world. Music from different parts of the globe. Movie music, as well as all Disney music. I had a space-themed recital once. It was part space-sounding songs, part sci-fi movie themes. It Takes Two, which everybody planned a duet with another student. One year I did a fairy tale theme where I actually wrote a script where students also acted in costume and then their songs fit into the script. I've done music through the decades, where we literally took the audience from the 1600s all the way to the 2000s. I've done A Day at the Zoo, all animal-themed songs. I've done The Four Seasons, and I've also done another weather-related. I believe it was called Weather the Weather, and we had stormy songs at the beginning, and then we had rainbow songs at the end. I could go on and on with theme ideas, and actually, if you'd like some more ideas, I have an extensive list on a blog post related to this topic that I will link down below. Stick around to the end of the video. I will share with you what my theme is for this year, but hopefully that's enough to get your brain going. If you have a theme that you've done before or that you would like to do, please add it in the comments and maybe we can get some ideas from each other. So once you have picked your theme, what are the components of an amazing themed recital? What do you need to plan? What do you need to buy? What do you need to do? Let's talk about it. The most obvious and the first thing you want to think about would be the student's repertoire, what they will be performing. In my recitals, each student chooses 2 pieces. Usually I try to do one from their books and one outside of their books, but both songs should fit the theme in some way. You can get creative if something sounds like it could fit the theme, but the title doesn't match and the lyrics don't match. Remember that nobody is going to be seeing the sheet music as the student's performing. So with the student, you can come up with a new title, and voila, that lesson book song that they are coming up on It can be a recital song. The other thing that you want to do early on is to come up with some sort of like cute or clever recital title. So usually I pick something that hints at the theme but doesn't like just state the theme. For example, It Takes Two was my duet recitals, so I didn't just call it duet recital. You get the idea. The next thing that I'll usually do once I have the theme decided and the title is I will create a little logo in Canva, something really simple. It can just be the text of the title over a simple clip art or something like that. And then I will paste that logo on everything. I usually create a poster to hang up in the studio just to get students excited about that. And of course, I unveil the poster on announcement day. And then I also use it in a little invitation that I send out to the families when I announce to the families what the theme is, and then they can print the invitation if they want to give to grandma and grandpa, and I'll also use it on the program itself. Sometimes I will design a t-shirt as well and then have everybody order the t-shirt. If you want a more casual recital for your spring recital or a summer recital, this can be fun. And then just have students get the t-shirt in their size. You can design your own t-shirt design and have them printed on demand with a company like Printify or something like that. However, a small batch of t-shirts in various sizes does tend to be quite expensive, so I don't do this every year. If you don't have students wearing t-shirts, then you can start to envision what they could wear. So if you have a summer themed recital, then maybe everyone wears Hawaiian shirts. Or if you have an animal themed, then maybe they wear cat ears or whatever. I kind of leave this up to the students because a lot of them don't like to dress up at all. But if they're into it, they could wear something or bring a prop that is not too distracting that goes along with the theme or along with their specific song. Another thing I like to do every year is encourage students to create a piece of art in whatever format or medium they want to be displayed in the entryway of the recital venue. So this is a really cool way to give parents something to do if they arrive a little bit early, get students more involved, and show off their other talents. I don't limit this to just, visual art. Like, of course, there are drawings, paintings, colorings, sculptures, anything like that, and those display really well. However, I also encourage students to write a poem or a short story or to create a booklet of some sort. They can write their own piece, notate it, print that out, and that's their artwork. Or whatever they are wanting to do, I usually make a way to display it. And then I try to think about some simple decorations or props that I can bring, add a few things to the stage of your recital venue just to make things a little more fun. And finally, I like to think about what I'm going to wear at the recital, and I try to either pick something from my own wardrobe or buy something that kind of fits the theme in a fun but still professional and dressy way. So those are the components of a themed recital. And I know that is a lot, and you don't have to do everything there, but let me talk about how to keep your recital stress-free, whether you're doing just a regular old recital or a themed recital. Back in the day, I made a video all about how to do a stress-free recital, and for that video, I made a freebie which was a stress-free recital checklist. Now, the key to a stress-free recital of any sort is to start planning early. So if you are planning to have a spring recital the time I'm uploading this video, and you have not started planning your recital, you need to do that, my friend. The earlier you can start, the better. It's that last minute stress, and that's what gets us as multifaceted, busy adult humans, right? So feel free to grab the Stress-Free Recital Checklist down below. But just to give you a general idea, I like to think about the next recital at the previous recital. So about 6 months in advance, I start to think about when is the next recital going to be, what is the theme, and I book the venue, because there's nothing worse than having a venue in mind and the date you want isn't available. And then I usually announce the theme of the recital in February for our May recital, and students start picking their pieces in February. That gives us a solid 2 months plus to do the actual learning, and that way when we have spring break and they go on vacation for a couple weeks, or they get sick somewhere in there, they're busy with school, we've got plenty of buffer time. So that keeps it stress-free for you, and it keeps it stress-free for the students. And the busier your life is, the simpler the recital can be. If this is your first time throwing a recital or your first time doing a themed recital, then just use a theme as a little picture at the top of the program, the title of the recital, and the songs. And you can leave it at that, and you have a fun and memorable recital. Then as you get cozy with planning recitals in advance, you can add on from there. So it's time to let you know what my spring recital theme is for this year. This year I am doing Made by Me, which is going to be original compositions by my students. So they have already started composing their original songs. Those who really don't want to compose their own songs, I'm going to have them do an arrangement of a melody that they like and know. It's going to be very cool. They are invited to create an art piece as well that goes along with their original composition. I think it's going to be really memorable. And speaking of composition, my next video will be all about how to teach composition, whether you're looking to add activities within your studio, whether you want to run a workshop or a full week camp. That video will be right here once it goes live. And remember to check out the blog post down below for more theme ideas, and share any ideas that come to you as you're watching this video in the comments so we can all brainstorm together. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and you are more than welcome to join the membership of this channel, where you will be able to access members-only videos, deep dives, behind-the-scenes lesson footage, book flip-throughs and playthroughs, and more. I will see you on the next video very soon. Thanks for watching.